What's wrong?
Apparently, we had no sound. So,
Jen, why do you constantly turn the microphone? You do this on purpose just to annoy me. I know you do.
So for the benefit of those who couldn't lip read, a big hello to you. I'm really sorry about that. A few technical little difficulties, and essentially it's been really strange, hasn't it? This is an Easter weekend that is quite literally unprecedented. I have not ever experienced anything like what we've been going through. It's another weekend of complete lockdown. Now, are we coming through loud enough at that? Let me just twiddle the knobs.
Why do you just keep talking and I'll set up? Since you can't be trusted with your own bloody microphones.
But
She turns them down every single time after the live stream. She turns them down just to annoy me.
no, so I don't get feedback when I'm watching Star Trek: The Next Generation up here. But
You
I'm sure
should be listening to it in Echo Vision.
I've got my monologue. Stop it, Cupboard Monkey. But it's one of those things, isn't it? I'm sure that those of you who are older than me will also never have experienced anything like this. And usually the Easter weekend, with the hot sunny weather that we've been having, all that I think a lot of people want to do is to go out to shows, go and visit preserved railways, museums, exhibitions, go to places like the seaside, go to the Lake District, the Peak District, North Wales, South Wales, you name it. People want to do that, and just at the point where you can't do that, that's when the cabin fever sets in, and that's why we've got our daily dose of live streaming goodness here in our regular slot of 6 p.m. on Sunday, except no substitute, except no false prophets who have decided to stream at the same time. But anyway,
we won't mention who it is, but you all know who it is because he's been doing it all the time.
Hi to Mark Wilson. All right, Midux. Mark O'Brien. Hi all. Minnie West Aston Junction. Hi to you. Norman Rowe. Audio video. Leslie Gilpin. The monologue. Oh, you sly fox! You caught me monologuing. Let's have a look. FMR Station House. Jenny, the weather has been fab, and we've started our garden railway in O-Gauge. Excellent. Looking forward to seeing that. I know you've been doing your weekly live streams. You've moved forward to, I think it was 1500, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, UK time, and you did mention this to me. To be a little bit more accessible for the US market. Although I did notice that on a couple of occasions somebody had decided to stream against you on YouTube, which I thought was a bit naughty given that we'd publicised all the live streams. But yeah, you won't be disappointed with an O-Gauge Garden Railway. And actually, it's one of the things that I've been doing is cleaning up my garden railway.
You've been cleaning up your act?
I have, yes.
I'm going to go check on the cat.
You do that. I should mention at this stage that a lot of things have happened since last week. Our cat, Fred, who you may have seen in some of the earlier live streams back in the days when we used to live stream from the office. Unfortunately, Fred is very, very ill at the moment. She's 16 years old. That's quite a good innings for a cat. And unfortunately, this appears to be something that she's not going to recover from. I won't bore you with the full list of symptoms, but essentially it's not looking good. And so if myself and the Cupboard Monkey seem a little bit emotionally fragile, then a lot of that is down to the fact that Fred is seriously ill. And it's really difficult to get a beloved pet to the vets at the moment. Most of the vets are closed. So we've managed to get an appointment, an emergency appointment. Tomorrow we have to drive over to Lee, is the closest that we could find. So just to let you know that that's the development that we've had since last week. A big hello to Robert Ward, Norman Rowe, Ben Tullett, Bird Race 101, Anfield Road Layout in the Loft. Ronald Morritt, hi to you too. Combat Bunny, don't forget to hit that like button. It's always really important. And let's get a few other angles. I have been testing this extensively. And yes, there we go. Getting another angle up. I'll tell you a little bit about the trains in a moment. Chris Hale's Heritage Railway, no sound. I think actually that's something that we've now fixed. And Adams Railway, I'll not watch Sam's Hornby premiere that's on right now then. It's naughty because he knows full well who's streaming and when, and to actually pick a time going head to head is, I'm going to call him out. That's a bit low. Especially when you're a much bigger channel, so you know that you can absolutely stamp over any other channel. He did used to do his live stream at 2 in the afternoon and would have been done by now. It's one of the reasons that I'm doing this stream at 6 o'clock, was to fit in around him to not tread on his toes, and instead he's gone and treaded on mine. AD Pullen, I've been flat bound for the last few years. Really sorry to hear, I know you're having a few difficulties. The Growler Blackwood N-Gauge layout. Evening Jay and everyone, evening to you. Anfield Road layout in the loft. Smash the like button, thanks very much. Jonesy Tynerweir Transport, do you have Thomas the Tank Engine locos? No, I don't. I don't know. Now that Bachmann have got the franchise, as they start coming through, I've always thought that the Bachmann ones, when I've seen them, are of actually a lot better quality than the Hornby ones. I did used to have a Hornby Percy when I was younger, when they first came out, but that's long since been given away. Brockwell Lane, do we all have to wear those ears? Oh gosh, I forgot I was wearing these. Trouble is, I wanted an Alice band to hold my hair back, and all of my Alice bands have snapped. They get plastic fatigue in the middle, and because I got a big head, and eventually snap. And the only one that I've got at the moment is the one with the silly ears on. So I did forget about that actually. J94, hi to you. FMR Station House, we've moved to 1500 and we don't mind, people will go where they would like to see. I know, but you know, it's one of those things. Bob Patterson, hello all in the land of Ecky Thump. Oh, is that the People's Republic of Yorkshire? Norman Rose, sorry to hear that, yeah, about the cat. It's, unfortunately, cats don't live forever. And it's, I guess, pet ownership is one of those things. When you go into pet ownership, you have to bear in mind that by and large you will outlive your pets. And unfortunately we're in that very difficult stage where it's very obvious that we're outlasting a beloved pet. So it is a very difficult time. McBenman 1, hope Fred gets well soon. We do hope that but at 16, unfortunately, it appears that Fred has got a very aggressive cancer. The deterioration has been very rapid, and it's not just ill. She's changed shape, for want of a better way of putting it, and it's quite clear that something is growing aggressively. A tumour, basically. Part of her has become like skin and bone, and at the back she's got it's become quite distended, so unfortunately we looked up online because it's been very difficult to get a vet, and the symptoms are pretty much classic cancer. Stephen Deacon says FMR's O-Gauge Railway looking good. And I must admit, O-Gauge in the garden is great, and I have enjoyed building my O-Gauge layout, and I hope this year to actually do a lot more on it. I've actually dug it out of the undergrowth the last couple of days. So one of the things I did have to do is, in the storms over the winter, we've still got one conifer tree, and it's been swaying backwards and forwards with the wind. And that has kind of caused some of the ground to heave slightly. So it split the concrete that the track is laid on and caused one of the sets of rail joints to pull apart. So I've taken the opportunity to do a little bit of track repairs as well. So hopefully when I'm planning on getting that Mamod restored and actually see if I can get that to run. Norman Rowe, thoughts and prayers to Fred. Thank you very much, very kind of you. Ronald Morritt, hi Jen, Zoe. Hope the Easter Bunny left some chalky eggs for you. Unfortunately, yes, too many. And the Fry's, I like Fry's chocolate cream, but it turns out an entire egg of Fry's chocolate cream chocolate is quite sickly and has disagreed with me somewhat. I just feel a little bit queasy from too much chocolate. Ron Stanbridge, hi to you. Tim JD Dowd, hi to you too. John PW22, happy Easter, Jenny and Zoe. Happy Easter to you too. And let's get another one of the angles up. Come on. Oh yes, that's working nicely. Touch wood, and there is wood down here. Touch wood everywhere. Hopefully the cameras should be working okay. So Dragon Junction, hi to you. Ben Tull, it's never nice losing a pet. I know, and you always think that you're going to cope with it after having had a great many childhood pets. This is cat number 5 in my life, and it never gets any easier to lose a cat. I may sound a little bit emotional because despite the fact that Fred has been a very annoying cat, and we've had a love-hate relationship, especially at first, she saw me as a bit of an interloper coming into the house. Zoe already had the cat, had Fred. And I've got a disparaging pet name for her. I call her Poopington, or Poopy Pants, because she certainly can leave a smelly deposit in the litter tray. But it turns out I love her a great deal. Shanghai 264359, great to see you again. Good to see you too. Stuart Barnard, afternoon all, happy Easter to you, Zoe and all. JD Dowd, he actually liked a model on his last review. I assume we're talking about Sam. He does seem to be very difficult to please, especially if it's a product that comes from Helgen or Daypole. So, you know, tough crowd, tough audience. Norman Rowe, Thomas would have to wear a mask, indeed. Ronald Morritt, sorry to hear your beloved cat is not well. It's unfortunately, cats don't live forever, and unfortunately Fred is at that stage now. Let's have a look. Bish bash bosh boosh. Logan Clary, greetings from River Grove, hi to you. Deltic Junction James, hi to you. Richard Swiderski, should be bunny ears. Let's pretend that they're bunny ears for now.
I can go and get you some if you want.
Bunny ears? Do we have bunny ears?
I got them for an Easter party about 12, 13 years ago.
The bunny incident. You'll have to ask the cupboard monkey on her.
I will never tell.
No, but I know where the photos are. So if anybody's wondering what tonight's beverage will be, we have a Birra Moretti, which is a very fine, I think it's a Czech lager.
Sure, it's Italian.
Let's have a look. Doesn't actually tell you.
So d'Italia. I'm pretty sure it's.
Yeah, I think you're possibly right there. I think we might have something Italian going on there.
Well, yeah, because it's on the top. Birra Moretti, Italian passion for brewing.
Jonesy Tyne and Weird Transport says, even Sam's train's gone live. Love your channel, really good. Thank you very much. Unfortunately, we can never compete with somebody who's got over 70,000 subscribers.
Although how, I don't know.
But it's one of those things. We would have hoped that people try and avoid going head-to-head with live streams. One of the reasons we put up the program guide, firstly to publicise everybody's live streams, but it seems that it's just, I think we're now the third other YouTube live stream
He's
that
gone
he's gone
against,
head-to-head
he's
with.
gone against 3 YouTubers. Hattons, didn't he go against Hornby as well?
I don't know about
It's like
Hornby.
he's targeting other streams.
He went head-to-head with Hattons' live stream, which was rather
It feels
naughty.
like he's targeting other streams. And if he's not doing that, he needs to look at what it looks like.
Yeah, it's not a good look, to be honest with you. But hey, it's great to have you all hanging out with me. We've got 113, so we are suffering a bit. He's maybe taken about 100 people off us. But hey, we're the cool kids, so if you want to hang with the cool kids, stick around, tickle that like button, and also share this stream too. Let other people know that this is where the fun is happening.
I'll go and give you the ears.
Apparently I'm getting bunny ears. But no, I'm wearing cat ears in a salute to Fred. So I'll stick with the cat ears. It'll be my little tribute to Fred. Let's have a look. Wardle Road, a big hello to you. Thank you for joining us here on the stream. Are you alright, Cupboard Monkey? Unfortunately, the Cupboard Monkey is very emotional, and when she gets emotional, I get emotional. To those of you just joining us, we're currently struggling with the health of our beloved cat, Fred. Beloved cat of 16 years is very, very ill, and unfortunately, at 16 years old, it's, you know, cats don't last as long as humans. So, do excuse me, please. I may get emotional.
Let's put the first video on.
Yeah, so what we're going to do is we're going to go to one of your videos. You've been sending them in, and it's really great to hear from you guys. So what we're going to do is what we've got Leslie Gilpin, long-time supporter of the channel. Diesel pioneers in the USA. Looking forward to this. So let's bring it up, and let's take a look. I think I'm.
You're still on camera, of course.
Oh yes. Oh, so do excuse the fact that I'm blubbering like a schoolgirl, but it turns out I really did love our cat as well. But it's always great to see American outline stuff. I must admit, I'm quite a big secret fan of American outline.
Your secret's out.
Yeah, no,
You just told the world. You haven't got. You're not very good with the secret thing, are you?
Yeah, well, it's one of the things that American modelling I really do like. And is that looked like a pendolino in the background there. I think we may have watched this last week as well, but certainly did enjoy this video then.
I'm pretty sure he's changed it slightly, and then this is like the update.
Ah, right. But I must admit, certainly in my early days of railway modelling, I was very, very influenced by American HO railroad modelling, and indeed was a subscriber to Continental Modeler for a great long length of time. And of course, in the UK, Continental Modeler is also the home of US outline models too. Don't let the name kind of make you think otherwise.
The US is part of a continent as well.
But in the UK, when we say continental, we normally mean the rest of Europe.
And apparently when Jen says continental, she really means hiccups.
Oh, excuse me. Sorry, there's a lot of gas in that bit. McBenman 1, also in the process of building an O-gauge garden railway in Norway. Oh my, you'll need a snowplow, I believe. Although, even here actually, an O-gauge snowplow might be an interesting prospect. It's certainly something that quite interested. And now, I'm going to skip forward in the comments because I understand that I'm a great way behind. But really enjoying the video on screen, and it's nice to see the use of look like Metcalfe buildings in there as well. And you have to remember that actually you can mix and match in the same way that a lot of UK outline builders make great use of the Walthers kits in a UK based setting, and of course a lot of UK based buildings kits to some extent can be used in an American outline model as well. But I love those, are they Hudsons? The semi-streamlined steam locomotives. They are really, really impressive. So a big hello to J. Paul Anderson. Don't worry about us. I know, I'm just warning you that we might get a little bit emotional from time to time because we're struggling to come to terms with the severe illness of a beloved family pet, Fred, who you might remember from some of the earlier live streams.
And she's also been in some of your videos as well.
Yes, you'll have seen her in some of the layout videos. We may even see her in some of the videos of Trinity Road in the Garden that may come up later on. But I'm loving this US outline layout, and some of these trains really are impressive. Now, one of the things in the UK is that it can be quite expensive. Actually, I think it's Canadian. I'm seeing the CN there.
Well, it says at the start Canuck, so I'm assuming that's Canadian.
But Ronald Morrit, I am one of his subs, but I am supporting you, especially as you are feeling deeply upset at the moment and will be watching you regardless. Thank you very much. That does mean an awful lot to me. I know I can't generally compete with the big hitters, which is why it's a bit meany when they knowingly go up against other YouTubers. And I'm not the only one. He's gone head to head with Hattons in their regular Friday slot, and I believe he also went head to head with TMR as well. So FMR, Family Model Railway. I did notice him going head to head with you as well. So it's a bit mean, but it's great you all to stick with me, and hopefully we can entertain you in these really quite troubled times. Let's have a look. Daniela Stimson, well, on the bright side, your videos are for the adults and Sam's vids are for the kids, so yours is always better than his. Thank you very much. That is incredibly kind words, and I really do appreciate that. Let's have a look. Dish bash bosh. West Hill Wagon Works, big hello to you. And I'm getting behind in the comments, but it's a little bit easier to follow actually. We've only got 113 people in. We've had a few people have jumped ship, unfortunately, which is what happens when big YouTubers decide to go head to head with you. But it's really great that you guys have chosen to stick it with me.
Lifestyle Unleashed says, do you still have your 00 scale Garden Railway?
I know, unfortunately, the 00 Garden Railway has been demolished. Oh, I do like that
She
shot.
inflated it. She stuck a foot pump into the side and inflated it to
Can
all
I
scale.
just say that Burlington Zephyr is very impressive there. It's the real thing, isn't it? That is actually really impressive. So a big thank you to Leslie Gilpin, and don't forget as well that you can subscribe to his channel as well and catch up on this video.
Right, this is where we go all weird. Whoa.
Yeah, sorry, we go all Doctor Who. But thank you very much for sending that in, and don't forget as well, if you want to send in a video for next week, then you can do by emailing it, and this is really important. Please email it to zoe@zoerobinson.com, and that's Zoe spelt with the European spelling, just Z-O-E. There is no Y on the end of Zoe. So that will allow you to submit the URL of your YouTube channel and let us know which video, and we look forward to seeing your videos of your layouts. And they don't even have to be fully finished. We love to see under construction videos as well. It's always great to see how people are putting together their layouts too. Paul Jessen says, greetings from Toronto. Sorry, I only have 5 minutes before a student on Skype. Don't worry, it's always great to have you dip in and out.
Get the student to watch this as well.
No, but also don't forget as well, you can catch up. The full video goes live online after the stream. Now, let's see, let's just...
Are you pressing buttons again and hoping for the best?
Yeah.
You've broken it, haven't you?
Apparently we have. Now, I did have everything working.
I spent minutes on this. Minutes.
Yes, you did spend your minutes. Anyway, I'm gonna... Oh, God, I don't know about you guys, but it's getting quite warm, isn't it? The weather is quite warm. Now, I would strip my top off.
But I'll tell you off if you do.
Yes, but unfortunately, it's only a thin top, and there's not really much on it underneath.
We can see it, you know. You're on camera.
I know. But some people at this stage, I always get asked what the locomotives are that's going round. And I want to put a big thanks out yet again to Somerset Andy for the Class 47 that you've seen going round in the Intercity Swallow executive livery as I think it's Firefly, and that is sound fitted. Now, I forget which of you sent me the Class 47 TTS sound chip, but also really grateful at that because it's allowed me to make the Locomotive sound fitted. And that's actually rather strangely being paired with my full rake of Hornbeat Super Detailed Gresley teaks. And these are some of my favourite coaches. You'll see the Blood and Custard ones going the other way. We've had them on a few of these streams because I'm quite lazy and don't tend to change what's sat on the track. But I thought I'd get out the All Singing, All Dancing teaks, and they're actually running quite well, they are. We've also got the Helgen Class 27, and despite what certain other YouTubers think about Helgen, I actually really like them and think that they produce great value for money products. And I'm not supported in any way by Helgen, that is completely honest and unbiased.
The moment you're supported by a chair.
Funnily enough, yes. But no, Helgen actually a bit snooty towards all YouTubers, not just me, but all YouTubers. But, you know, that's their prerogative. But I actually really do like Helgen products, and I'm always quite perturbed to see why other people rip into them. And I've said this before, I'll say it again. It undermines credibility if you sort of appear to have an agenda when actually there's nothing wrong with the model.
And that's the thing, appear to have an agenda. It doesn't even matter if you do or not. If it looks like you do, people start questioning things.
Yeah, definitely.
I've seen it in so many magazines, like, why do you hate X, Y, and Z? It's like, we don't. So why don't you review it well? Because it's not very good, that kind of thing.
And actually, I think Helgen products are some of the best on the market. Talking of Helgen, we also have, I'm going to try and change the angle of the dangle. You're just seeing going out of view behind the chat, a Helgen Class 76. Get your hand out. With a big rake of 21-ton X LNER hoppers. And these are all weathered. I weathered these as part of a video that I was asked to do for Hornby.
Be honest, you left them in a bucket outside.
No. I weathered, each one has been individually weathered for a video that I filmed for Hornby. I don't know when they're going to put that up. But certainly they are rapidly becoming some of my favourite wagons. Although say that the Acura scale ones really do pit. But in terms of improving wagons, do check out some of my weathering videos. I did an Acura scale weathering video, and that is a similar kind of idea to what the Hornby one is that I filmed. Hunt Heath Model Railway, hi to you. Roberts is there, says happy Easter Jen and Zoe. Sorry about Fred, those steam locos are 484 Northerns. Aha, right, I'm with you. But they were lovely, actually. Paul Jessen says, I think this is again referring to the student. I don't think she has the same obsession.
That's not the point.
I'm just going to scroll back a little bit. I've missed some of your comments. Norman Rose says 123, actually it's 138 in at the moment, but only 14 hit the like button. So, ooh.
What's that?
I don't know. There's a weird, I think it's a squeaky axle or something. But yeah, don't forget to hit the like button, share the stream too, let other people know that if you want to hang out, chat, chill, have a little bit of the old trains going round, then we are here and everybody is welcome. Might be a little bit emotional because Fred, our beloved cat of 16 years, is not very well at the moment. Flymo Chairman 1 asks, shall I put up the place to send video URLs for viewers' virtual exhibition? Yeah, please, if you could. What the heck?
There's a guy dipping an Easter egg into a cup of tea and eating it like a biscuit.
Are you sure it's not hot chocolate for that ultimate uber chocolate?
Could be, but it seems like, like dude, that's gonna melt.
Lakota Therow says, who is this other YouTuber that thinks they're better than Jenny? Well, Sam's Trains, I'm told, has scheduled a live stream head-to-head with me. Can't compete with that. He's got like 70,000 subs, but he knew I was live streaming because we've been doing this for quite a few weeks now. and he originally live streamed from 2 o'clock UK time on a Sunday, which was why I didn't live stream that early, because I'm not inconsiderate enough to try and go head to head with other people if I can help it. But there we go. Oh no, Richard Lewis. I wouldn't advocate this. It's entirely your own decision. Richard Lewis said, disappeared for a minute to tick a dislike on Sam's trains, now back with the best. Thank you very much, but I don't advocate dislike on people.
No, that's not.
So let's not get into that, but thanks for sticking with us. Let's have a look. I think I'm well behind again on the comments. Brockwell Lane asks, I do like your freight yard, Jenny. Are they all through roads? Pretty much, yes. It's a model of a hump marshalling yard. So effectively we've got big balloon loops for 4 different areas of the yard. We have the north arrival sidings, the south arrival sidings, and then we have the top hump sidings, which is basically where the wagons got ready to go over the top of the hump, and then we've got the sorted sidings at the bottom of the hump. So there's actually 4 distinct areas of this yard, and theoretically it would all work, apart from gravity doesn't really scale very well when it comes to the smaller scales, but they're pretty much all loops, so theoretically we could have a heck of a lot of trains lined up. It's kind of like a scenic fiddle yard in a way.
All loops, no waiting.
Flymo Chairman 1 says, that was a nice layout Jenny showed there. Thank you very much. That was Leslie Gilpin who submitted that one. We're just queuing up. This is Skipsy Trains I see on the screen. So that will be the next one of your videos that we're going to be putting up. And thank you again for submitting these. Lakota Theoralf says, I had to get rid of my teaks. I love them, but they didn't run well on my layout. I actually found that the Hornby teaks were vastly improved.
Go and take this phone call.
Oh, right, who is it?
It's Mum.
Okay. The Cupboard Monkey's just disappearing off for a phone call, so it might be a couple of minutes yet before we get on to the next video. But I vastly improved the running of the teak coaches by using what I've actually used on the rake that you see going around on this layout is the close couplings that Hornby actually supply with them rather than the tension locks. I had a lot of derailments too with the tension locks and just changing the couplings. Now, Hunt's couplings as well, I've had a lot of great success with them on other coaches, and I think that actually they too would certainly improve massively the running on the Hornby teaks. So certainly one to think of. Jonesy Tyne and Weir Transport, what was your first loco you bought when you were a kid? See, I had a lot bought for me as presents. In terms of saving up and buying a locomotive, see, my father tended to buy the locomotives, and I tended to save up and buy rolling stock. I'm trying to think the first locomotive that I could say that I saved up and bought. Well, one that does spring to mind is actually my Thomas the Tank Engine Percy from when I was quite young, probably about 7 years old. I do remember saving up and buying that. In terms of other locomotives, you know, I can't think of any others until I came back to the hobby and bought an ex-Lancashire and Yorkshire Pug. Bob Patterson says, boom, boom. J. Paul Anderson, not Helgen steam locos though, Jenny. Many have major problems. I have heard of a few issues, but I do have one Helgen steam locomotive, and I've not as yet had any problems whatsoever. It's the 1366 class pannier tank with the outside Walschaerts valve gear, and actually I've had great success with that, I must admit. Other steam locomotives from Helgen, I don't think I have any, but I have heard that the first run of the Bayer Garretts had some issues. But equally, I've heard a lot of good stories as well. Skipsy Train says purchased the Helgen 33 and BR Intercity mainline livery a few weeks ago. A lovely model. There certainly are, actually. Class 33 is on my radar, it has to be said. John Eckway Production says, hello Jennifer, when you start the train outdoor? Well, I've been doing over the last couple of days some repairs on the outside layout. I've also dug it out of the undergrowth. It kind of got covered in leaves last year, and then the leaves have mulched down, and then things have started growing in the mulch, so I've actually had to dig out the track, literally dig out the track in places. But I think we're there. Minnie Wistaton Junction says 49 likes. Wardle Rose says like spike. Boom! Graham, thank you very much, everybody. King Fox Junction, hi everybody, just arrived, was working on another project for the layout. Brilliant. J94 says, I was thinking of getting the Helgen GWR saddle tank. That's the 1361 class. Currently, Rails have them at a great price, as have Kerno Model Centre as well, it has to be said. Kerno Model Centres is the DJ Models version, which apparently is quite good. I have no experience of DJ Models products, but that's the keenest price. I've seen that at $69.99. But the Helgen version is at $79.50 from Rails of Sheffield, should be all right. Cyber Jeff 1 says Sam was on for 10 minutes. That was rather strange. So a lightning pincer manoeuvre. I'm not sure actually. What his live stream may have been about. I do subscribe to him. Keep an eye on what video formats he's decided to take his own take on. Never mind. Brockwell Lane, if you're going to review products, you have to do your research. I can't fault your reviews, Jenny. Not all reviewers know what they were talking about. Thank you very much. Very kind. Anfield Road layout in the loft. As a high King. King Fox Junction. I'm with you. Hunts Heath Model Railway. We cut off the top of our Easter eggs and filled them with ice cream blended with Bailey's, topped with whipped cream and sweeties. Pop in a straw and enjoy. Fall over. Hoo, hoo, hoo. But Benman 1, when he was showing the fan vids, we've done one already, and I'm going to try and set up the next one. So hopefully, Shift Control 5. Ooh, a little bit of Doctor Who going on there. So we've got a video from Skipsy Trains. So to build a full car version of the 5 car class 458. These videos are always interesting. I suspect that there's a talky through bit. But certainly there's a lot of people into the modern image. And I know I'm not a big modern image modeler, but certainly I can appreciate the modeling skills going into this. And I always, hats off to people who go to this level of customization and detail. And that's actually very impressive, building up the interiors of the coaches, individually painting them. I am actually really impressed there, Skipsy's Trains. And it's some nice model work. We've got a few people lounging in there. But no, that is a great attention to detail. So on the exterior, they look like 3D prints. Ah, yes, the new front ends. I guess a lot of the modern units are variations on each other, but it isn't necessarily the case that all of the different versions are available, ready to run. And that's where modelling projects such as this really do come into their own. Lifestyle Unleashed says, you have done a review on Enwin's 3D models and Sam's Trains didn't, so you're going to get our next product launch. Well, thank you very much. Did you actually offer Sam's Trains the chance to review your models? Let's have a look. Richard Lewis says, well said, Brockwell Lane. Thank you very much. Mark Wilson, do you have a hump in your yard? I do, actually, yeah. The hump is over here somewhere. Arthur Humphreys, hi to you. Warden Road, Jenny, I look forward to visiting the garden layout. Well, when this lockdown is over, we will have a garden barbecue and run the garden layout. Mark Rice, hi Jen, can you put A4 on teak coaches to run? Unfortunately, the teak coaches are a bit too long. If I put an A4 on the front, it just spins its wheels, unfortunately. Alex Pomeroy says, picked up the DJ Models 1361 around a month ago. Lovely model that I'd happily recommend. I must admit, actually, I may try one. Kerno Model Centre has them for £69. Which is a great price, I have to say. So I might look into that. But going back to the video you're seeing on the screen from Skipsy Trains, that really does look impressive, the final finished model there. And that is actually quite a complex paint job to do. You're probably going to tell me, no, just like mask and do, it's not a problem. But to my eyes, I'm not a great one for repainting stuff. So I am very impressed with the paint job you've got on there. So really impressed. Reggie Boy, hi to you. FMR Station House, we just picked up a WSL Daypole Fowler 3F Chinty Steam Loco DCC sound fitted and O gauge for a very good price from a model shop, now less than £300. And that's one of the things that it has to be said. Let me just exit from there. Thank you very much, Skipsy Trains, for sending that in. And one of the things that I've been saying, don't forget as well, you too can submit your videos. I don't think we're getting that camera. So, yeah, we got a camera there. Thank you very much for sending in. If you want to send in your videos too for next week's virtual model railway exhibition, don't forget that you can. If you email the URL of your video, of your layout, to zoe@zoerobinson.com, and that is the UK, the European spelling of Zoe, spelled Z-O-E. Norman Rowe, battle tank manoeuvre reference. Nice, Jenny. I didn't even realise I'd done it. Richard Swiderski says, Sam, should have been, how many wagons can the Hornby Ruston pull? Not as many as you think, actually. I have put it to the test, didn't film it. It seemed a bit clickbaity for a video just to be doing that. I never really intended to pull a lot, but I guess really only maybe a dozen tops on level track. And certainly once you hit corners, any kind of a gradient, it's really going to struggle. There's just not the weight in there to get good adhesion. That said, DCC Concepts Power Base might be the way to go, but do be warned, it can put quite a strain on the motor of the locomotive. Finley Carton says, have you seen Kerno Model Centre? I've never seen it in person. I have bought mail order from them a few times, but never actually been down there to the shop. But certainly they are currently open doing mail order. You can't visit the shop at the moment, but do support the mail order. And they've got quite a few decent offers on at the moment. Let's have a look. Danielle Stimpson, Sam Turner Train seems to always pinch other people's ideas and then says he's the one who started it and the original person copied him. He's pinched a number of my formats, he's pinched a number of New Junctions formats that I've seen, and a few others. They do say mimicry is the best form of flattery, but if you want the original, then quite often, not always, but quite often, there's another channel that did it first. So, unfortunately, it's one of those things we've come to get used to seeing that. Minnie with Sutton Junction, answering somebody else. Skipsy Train says it's got musical background. Right, I'm with you. Thank you very much for submitting that. It's been great actually looking at some of these. We're going to queue up some more when the Cupboard Monkey gets back from, she's just talking on the phone. Those of you who are just joining us now, don't forget to tickle the like button. Don't forget to tickle the like button, and also share the stream too. But you'd be aware that the Cupboard Monkey, especially, and myself, are a little bit emotional because our beloved cat Fred, beloved cat of 16 years, is I don't like to say it around Zoe, but our cat is dying. quite quickly from what we think is a very aggressive cancer. It's very sad when a beloved family pet reaches the end of their life. It's unfortunately one of those things. Pets generally don't last as long as humans. I've had cats all my life, but it never stops being emotional when a beloved pet dies. And I'm sure you all have been through similar experiences. I'm a very emotional person. You know, I can get upset and emotional. You know, just seeing people like Sterling Moss had passed away, and Tim Brooke Taylor. I get a little bit emotional for that. You know, I cry at the first 10 minutes of the film Up, but then again, if you don't, you're emotionally dead. But The Railway Children, the decent one, when Jenny Agutter runs along the platform after she thinks that her dad's not there and then he is, and she starts saying, "Daddy, Daddy, my daddy," I always cry at that. Yeah, I get quite emotional. I cried in Futurama, the episode with Fry's dog. But yeah, we're going through very difficult times at the moment with Fred, who you might remember from some of the streams. Mike O'Brien, hi to you. Yeah, Wardle Rose says, sounds great. Zoe can show Tian and I some more meat-free food. Or we could just bang a few steaks on the barbie, because I do eat meat from time to time. We can do either. Skipsy Train says, no, the paintwork was a pain in the bottom. I can imagine, actually, but you've done an incredibly good job. Finley Carden, is anyone into G-scale? There's a lot of people do. Probably more common as like G-scale narrow gauge, which is basically 45mm narrow gauge. But Lifestyle Unleashed says, yes, I swapped emails with Sam a few times before first contacting you, but he stopped replying and you came through. Next launch will be a development of the photo you saw this morning. Hush, hush. I am looking forward to it, actually. I was very impressed with that particular model, not giving anything away. But it was a really impressive model, and I really do look forward to seeing more of that. Mini with Stanton Junction, I now have my N gauge layout up and running. We've also finished both of the helixes on my double O gauge layout, so we'll be uploading later. I'm really looking forward to that, and actually a helix is one of the things that I really do wish I'd have incorporated up here. I guess it's like, you know, it's very easy when you build a model railway to think, you know, I wish to have done X, Y, and Z. Let's see, can we get, yes, another camera, it works. It's alive, it's alive. But what I need to do now, actually, I think the Cupboard Monkey's coming back, so I will let the Cupboard Monkey deal with queuing up the next video.
The next video's queued.
I've already played that one, so we want the one after that.
Alright. Did you tell them all about what that video was?
What, the trains? The train build? The class 455?
Right, Paul Tilbrook, who made it, said...
That's Skipsy Trains.
Yeah. The model is of the class 458/5, which I have reduced to a 4-car to enable it to fit where I want it to run on my future model railway in Sheffield.
Right.
Which apparently we showcased last week.
Ah, yes, I do remember. I'm very impressed. Let's have a look. Bob Patterson, I've been running in my Rustons on my ON30 track shelf. They're a pair of little rippers. Actually, the Rustons are pretty impressive.
Do you want to know how to queue up the next one?
Just
you click on the link and then pause it until you want it to play.
Yeah, no worries.
And at some point it'll actually work.
We might be struggling on bandwidth a little bit.
No, it's just everyone's on YouTube.
Ooh, bridge construction. So, let's go straight on into the next one.
Okay, this one is from Tim Pullen.
Excellent. Tim Pullen, long-time supporter of the channel. Looking forward to this video that was submitted. Zoe at zoerobinson.com. and again, another US, well, certainly North American outline layout. So are we
Ready when you are.
Yeah, grand. Let her rip.
Pop.
Gauge Master open field back seam. So this is catalogue number GM703. So you can, if you're wanting to pick that up in the shops.
Whoa.
Ooh.
Oh my goodness.
Now that, I like the design of the legs. This is a really great idea, certainly for people.
This is something that you were talking about, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's something that was done with my father. Well, I say done with my father, but my father's done.
Yeah, you didn't do this to your father.
When I was young, actually, it has to be said that I had something similar in my bedroom, but there's some great scenery going on there. So you're putting in a skew bridge, you've got the abutments in.
You love abutments.
I see what you're doing there. So you've got a good solid core out of wood, which is always a great idea, building up the parapets and the pavement there by the looks of it. A good substantial build. Yes, the Wills kits, SS57 vari girders. Now these are great. I've used these an awful lot. As you can see there, they really do come out looking great, and they're so flexible in terms of things you can do. So they're double stacked to get that extra height. And I know Preston Railway Oh, I say. Now, your road surface, I salute you. That is very impressive. I love the way you've got the cracks and then highlighted them as well. That is an amazing build. I love bridges. It has to be said, I'm a big fan of building bridges in model form. I think that, I do like the forced perspective there. And is that N gauge you've used? Yeah, so you've got this. That is very clever with, looks like N gauge, to give an illusion of distance, but the double stack of the vari girders also, that works incredibly well. That open field back scene actually is really nice, and you can see there, well lit, it really does look the business, and it gives you a great sense of depth. So really impressed with that. The bridge, I have to say, that bridge really impressed me. I know on all of my layouts you'll see different bridges, and it's one of the things that I actually do quite like scratch building are bridges. I think that they're a great way of adding individuality to a layout, but also functionality too. So that was really great. Thank you very much for submitting that video. Skipsy Train says, thanks for showing my video. You're absolutely welcome. Thank you for submitting it. Tony Wright says, already clicked the button, but those of you that haven't, don't forget to click the like button and also share it too. We've got 157 people in. We can get more than that. I'm sure that now apparently Sam's Trains is finished, we might get a few of the scraps. Maybe people are looking for something to entertain them with some quality entertainment for the next couple of hours.
And if they can't find any, there's always us.
Yes, and also it's a good opportunity to see other people's videos, and I'm always happy to showcase other people's model railways. I think it's very important in the community. No, it's been in my ear. We've got to laugh, haven't we? I think it's very important in the community. I'm a big advocate of everybody helping everybody else out. We've seen a lot of that as we've gone through this lockdown, and it is difficult times.
That's why we did the live stream list. So
Definitely,
people didn't have to be alone.
Yes, I think there's a lot of people struggling, missing that kind of human contact, and it's a way of doing that. And I think it's very important to name check other channels, let other people know about some of the great content that is out there. So I feel honoured that some of you guys have submitted videos and let me play them on this stream. I think it's really important to get a really great view of stuff that's out there. And I particularly love these construction videos, like we've just seen with the Class 458, also the bridge building. I think it's a really great way of giving people ideas on what they can do and bring to their own layouts too. I was going to say something.
Was it something about scratching butts?
New But we're going to queue up the next one now.
Yeah, I'm just getting it ready. You don't have to play it yet.
Yeah, so let's have a look through some of the comments. I'm well behind on these.
Well, what
Good
else is
evening
new?
to Somerset Andy. Hi to you. Great to have you in. You may notice, Somerset Andy, if you've just joined us, that the class 47 that you very, very kindly sent to me is currently doing the rounds with a really quite nice rake of the Hornby Super Detailed teak coaches. Just some of my favourite coaches, it has to be said. I recently reviewed the most up-to-date release of that in the full break. That very full break that I reviewed is, I believe, the very last full break on the train. And actually, what I found was
I thought these were drumsticks. I was going to go and play the drums, but
no.
apparently this is Lapa Valley Steam Railway.
Yeah, oh, that's a bit... that's got
You
a
don't
bit
clean
dusty.
them. You don't clean them around your
Oh, there's dust on that.
things.
But thank you very much for that, Class 47. It's going round and it's fitted with sound. Let's see if we can... Let's fire her up.
Excuse you.
I think that's posting. So that does that. I'll turn the sound off though, it does get a bit annoying after a while. But let's have a look. Yeah, Tony, right, you're absolutely right. When you lose your pet, it's like losing a loved one very much because they become a part of the family. Leslie Gilpin, other way around for me, saw Sterling Moss had gone into the pits for the last time. Yeah, and that's the thing. We've lost today Sterling Moss, and we've also lost Tim Brooke Taylor, who I've been a big fan of. Is on a lot on Radio 4, and I've been listening to a lot of Radio 4 Extra as well for some classic. I'm sorry, I'll read that again. Somerset Andy, big hi to you. Bob Patterson, emotions are nothing to be sorry for as they show our true humanity. Absolutely right. Ian White says, Jenny, I'm a 50-year-old man and I always cry at that bit of the Railway Children. Gets me every time. I know that feeling well. Mark Wilson, I bought a few Playmobil trains a couple of years back. I'm going to paint them and detail them up and we'll build a garden railway at some point. There's actually in one of my one of the magazines, the Railway Modelers, which I've kept because it's a particularly good issue. It's had Iron Mould Lane as the Railway of the Month, but one of the other layouts in it was Nantiglow Mine in, I think it was 016.5, and it actually made really good use of a detailed and decorated Playmobil locomotive to provide some of the motive power, which I thought was particularly good, and your comment has just reminded me of that. Somerset Andy says, I've got my second loop on DCC now today. It's awesome running both loops from one select control. Definitely, yeah, it's one of the things that actually I found with DCC has worked really well.
Do you actually need me up here?
No, if you need to go down and cuddle the cat, that's fine. We should be alright. It's getting very, very warm up here, though, I will warn people. So if I look hot and flushed, it's because it's hot.
It's because there's no air in here.
Unfortunately, yeah, I've got a fan running on full, but all it's actually doing is just moving hot air around. It's been quite a warm day, it must be said. Are you going to be alright, Cupboard Monkey?
I'll try.
Yeah, take care.
You know how to skew up the videos, yeah?
I do now, you've shown me. If there's any issues, I will shout and scream and go, it's not working!
Shout, scream, stamp your feet.
Yeah, it's big.
I'll come
this
eventually.
stinks! This is total BS! Right, but look, you take care, give her a cuddle for me. Huey's train layout. Good evening, Jenny. My thought for you and Cupboard Monkey hugs. I have 2 cats myself. I know it's been a very testing time at the moment. James Moody, I unrolled the helix on my layout, so there's half a loop each end and it runs along the back of the layout between the 2 ends. James Moody, frame building update uploaded a few minutes ago to my RM web thread. Excellent, we'll check that out after CSX Rensville, yes, another American layout.
I apologise for the sound of the loud nose blowing.
Yeah, stretch edits. Ooh, you hate show. Lifestyle Unleashed, I spent a fair while painting sleepers on the fine scale. Sorry, dust. On the fine scale track my father made for our upcoming exhibition layout, only for him to decide He wants to modify the points. Yeah, they do that, don't they?
Is that the upside down layout?
This is
Piece of wood?
yes.
Ah, you should show that off. Show that it wasn't camera trickery.
Robert Woodhouse, hi Jen,
I'll see
here
you
as
later,
promised.
babe.
Thank you very much. It's great to have you with us. Let's see if we can get. Are we getting some of the other cameras? No, apparently that one doesn't want to play. But
You're not giving them enough time.
No, they do come up fairly quick when they are working.
I'll see you later. Shout if you need me.
No worries. Interesting. New Mills Model Railway says Sam's Train's live stream premiere video was actually on the Hornby channel. Ah, interesting. In that case, then our apologies to Sam if it's not his scheduling that's done that. So, interesting. I'll have to go and have a look at that afterwards. CSX Rensville, I've just finished off a large bag of flame grilled Doritos. Can't believe I've done that. Oh, we've all been there. Flymo Chairman 1, if you want to get Jenny to show your videos, post the URL to the video to send video links and a URL to zoe@zoerobinson.com. Thank you very much. CyberJeff1 says Sam's Trains wasn't live in the first place. It was a 10-minute piece he uploaded this afternoon. Interesting. In that case, my apologies. I have been misled by what people have been telling me. Bob Patterson, I sent you a few images of a hump yard here in Oz. Ah, interesting. I have to have a look at that. Skipsy Trains went on holiday to Lapa Valley last year. We're booked to stay there this year. Fingers crossed. Indeed. And these are from Lapa Valley Steam Railway. Got for me as a present from my little nephew who is mad about trains. Brockwell Lane says, I always cry when the killer rabbit gets blown up by the holy hand grenade in Holy Grail. Somerset Only, that is awesome, Jenny, with the Class 47. I know what it's like when you lose a pet. They are part of the family for many years. I still got my Mad West Highland jock and I love them. Fatwell at Boy 2 says, clear those tubes, Zoe. Brockwell Lane, don't make it into the pipe. Deltic Junction James says, hi Southern Train Girl. CSX Rensville, thou shalt lob the holy hand grenade on the count of 3. Not 2, and 1 is definitely out. Stuart Muir says, hi Jenny, are you looking forward to adding both the Fell Locomotive and the GT3? I think the Fell Locomotive is the one that probably interests me the most. But we're going to now head to another one of your videos. So let's go all Doctor Who, and then let's... This is from Big Joe 6401. So... let's get that running. Another American layout. I do like that twister. That is actually... Things like that are really great ideas to add a little bit of fun and life to a model railway. So that is quite an innovative design. Oh, it's quite a short one. Okay, so wasn't expecting it to be that short, but no worries. So let's just go back to... Please work. Please, no, it's not wanting to work on that camera. So we'll go to that camera, and I am going to queue up the next video. So the last one was from Michael Forsyth. So I'm just doing what the Cupboard Monkey showed me. So the next one will be from Andrew Johnson. So let's go straight to that one, because the last one was a bit shorter than I was expecting. Oh, I know what you're doing. So you won't get the Natty Grieg music, but yeah, sometimes a gradient seems like a good idea until you're trying to... Garden Railway is this. Right. Garden railways are great, I have to say. So look, let's have a quick look. It's a nice variety on there. Have you had any issues with the wooden base rotting? Because that's one of the problems that I must admit that I have had, or that I had with my garden railways. The base rotted out. But that actually looks to be a pretty interesting, that's a great layout. Wardle Road, thought I'd mention I've got a video out tomorrow afternoon. I haven't put one out in a while. Excellent. Tony Wright, thought there was a ship siren, Zoe. Yeah, she's got a bit of a hooter on her. But that is an impressive garden layout. CSX Arensville says, I've saved your seat, Chris. Ben Tuller, I do like the tornado. That is an impressive tornado. That was in the last video. A little bit of the trains. There's some quite impressive stuff going on there. Old Doppel Art says, hello, Jenny, Zoe, and everyone in the chat room. Hope you're all keeping well. McBenman1 says, I sent you a video too. Hopefully we'll get to that in just one moment. Minnie Wistaston Junction, hi all Double Art, all good, hope you're well. And yeah, I hope everybody is staying safe in these really difficult times. But that is actually pretty impressive garden railway. And it's nice to be able to use a lot of the plant life as great scenery for stuff. James Pett says, happy kitten ears Easter. Thank you very much. Great to see you. Norman Rowe says, use Trex decking planks, Jenny. Definitely. Norman Rowe, plastic hybrid product. I will have to check that out, actually. Although, saying that, let's just... Oops. What are we doing here? As you can tell, I am not the world's most natural of of techno people. Southern Train Girl, big hi to you. Adams Railway, cheerio for now, folks. Should be around tomorrow evening too. Definitely, we'll still be doing the Monday Club from 7, so it'd be great to have you guys for that as well. James Pets, it was a very adorable cat. And Flamachema 1 says, lovely 264 tank. Yeah, some great locomotives on there, has to be said. And it's one of the things, actually, I've added it to my wanted list, is the Hornbeat Fowler 264 tank locomotive, which is distinctly different from the standard Class 4 and the Fairburn tank, because it appears that the newer version of the Hornby model is fully super detailed. It's nothing like the old, slightly clunkier, now consigned to railroad type model, and it's kind of put it onto my radar, so that is another model which I am quite looking forward to. Bob Patterson, the great new track bed for garden railways is recycled plastic planks. They don't warp or rot. Do they take nails as well, so can you tack your track onto them quite well? Lettuce Trains, hi to you, great to have you along. So we've got, let's see what else we have got. I'm just going to try and queue up the next video. This will be from Thomas Morris. So I'm just queuing that up. I'll leave you to enjoy the Helgen Class 76, great model. And then the Helgen 27, also a great model. And I forgot to mention as well that we've also got a Hornby Q6, a Raven Q6 going round as well. Let's see, can I find a camera that it's going to appear on? So that's the Somerset Andy Class 47, and hoving into view from the top at some point will be the Hornby Raven Q6, which I actually really like as a model, and I've got mine sound fitted, so yeah, let's turn that off. Chuff, 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 chuff can get a bit boring after a while. YouTube Railway Modelers, a big hello to you. Great to have you in the house. And yeah, Tim JD Down, that was the one that Sam liked in LMS livery, the Fowler. It does look to be a great locomotive, I must admit, and it's one which I've been aware of since probably the 1980s. It's a model that's been in the Hornby range in some form or another for a long, long time, but it would appear that it's passed under the radar a little bit in being retooled for fully super detail O-tastic. so I must look out for one. Bob Patterson, more screws than nails. Yeah, I could imagine that. Actually, nails might pull out. Unfortunately, some of the plastics don't really grip nails particularly well. Leslie Gilpin says, it's hard to believe that the same guys who designed the successful Fowler 264 tank also designed the rubbish Fowler 262 tank. It's one of those things, isn't it? Sometimes what should be on paper a great locomotive turns out to be a big bag of spanners in an industrial cement mixer. And I believe the Thompson L1 possibly fell into that category a little bit as well. Although when I've been reading up on that particular locomotive, it seems that high maintenance was probably more to do with its reputation, and actually the locomotive itself was a fairly sound locomotive, let down by a few bits and pieces that were very finicky on maintenance. Lettuce Trains. Hornby should retool their Pacer Class 142 without traction tyres. I very much agree with you, actually. The Class 142 is not a model that particularly interests myself, but it's such a ubiquitous locomotive that dates back to British Rail days in the 1980s. So it serves. Oh my word! Sorry, somebody has just donated. Deltic Junction James has donated via the super chat £5 for the Nimbus Resurrection Fund. Oh, well, thank you very much. That is incredibly kind of you, and a big thank you to you for sending me £5 on the super chat. That is really kind. In these tough days of furloughing and stay at home, that is immensely generous. So a big thank you to you. And Nimbus, where is my Nimbus? I still need to do a little bit of work on her, but I am looking forward, as are a lot of people, to the Acura scale Class 55. But at the moment, this is my Bachmann Class 55, 55020 Nimbus, and as you can see there, she's actually got the wrong buffers on, but they're all I had, and I have replaced the buffers on one end because they completely went AWOL, and they're actually Hornby 00 buffers. I'm not sure which Hornby 00 model they are, excuse me, strictly speaking, intended for, but I thought some buffers, even if they are the wrong shape buffers, is better than no buffers whatsoever. So thank you very much for your very kind and generous donation. At some point, I do hope to get the. Is that on the one of the things I find actually, it's the same with the Class 37s. The Bachmann 55s and 37s are a pain to properly get on the track. You think you've got them properly on the track, and then it turns out one of the wheels isn't quite on. So when the train in front has gone past, that is now on the track, which none of you can see because you would be seeing it on that camera, but that's not wanting to work. So what I think I will do, let us put that camera on, and I'm going to, hello, oh, didn't want to do that. So there is 55020 Nimbus in shot. Let me just reset. That's just because Nimbus straddled the track. So hopefully, oh, and just one moment. So actually what I might do is, because the Q6 is struggling a little bit, I may put Nimbus on as well, but right. Anyway, where were we? Sorry, Richard Lewis never had any problems with Helgen. Neither have I particularly. I think the only issues I've ever come close to is you had to be very careful with the Metropolitan Bobos with pickup shoe detail. Although the two that I now have seem okay, but you just have to be careful in the way that you handle them. And the Class 17 that I've got has had a replacement motor. But aside from that, I've had no trouble whatsoever with Helgen. They're one of my favourite marks as well, it has to be said, for manufacturers. I think, let's just swap this. Let's see if we can get that Deltic to run. But Helgen are one of my favourites. They do produce a lot of great locomotives that happen to be the ones that I'm interested in. So, even though they never send me anything for review, and you know that is their prerogative, I still tend to review them quite highly because, put simply, they are great models, well engineered, well designed, and well executed. Right, let's just put that up there. Let's go and retrieve Nimbus, and hopefully I can get this on the track without shorting everything out. So. Always at the point where the train is going past. So let's set that one off. So Loco 5520. It's been a long time since I've run my Bachmann Class 55, that has to be said. So you'll just be seeing Nimbus hoving into view, but let's have a look back through. Leslie Gilpin, oh yeah, the Pacers. I think the Pacers are something that, yes, it's an open goal. Retooling the Class 142, I really don't know why Hornby haven't given that model the super detail treatment. Although Brockwell Lane says Real Track did a 142, yes, but quite tricky to find. Lettuce Trains, what wheel config is the Class 142? They're basically four-wheel buses. Imagine putting rail wheels on a bus and then putting that on the track. That is effectively what you get with a Pacer. Let's have a look. Bish bash bosh boosh. 80 Pull and Jenny, I gotta go. I'm getting blamed for stuff in your live streams to do with soundtrack. Blamed for stuff in your live stream to do with soundtrack. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. I hope I haven't put my foot in it at all. Sorry to hear that. Hopefully that'll get sorted out. As I said before, probably a little bit of my fault. Got fed a little bit of information, maybe a bit of the old 1 + 1 is 3. So my apologies to Sam if I've misinterpreted his particular video that people were talking about. Leslie Gilpin, Pacers based on a wagon. Back in the day, BBC Northwest recorded some Railway Technical Centre boffins with instruments in wagon being hauled at speed over Shap when designing Pacers. Melchester Model Railway, hi to you. Deltics look so powerful. And they do actually, but the old Bachmann Deltic is one which, and let's try and see what we can see. There it is, just going out of shot there. There's something not quite right in my opinion with the Bachmann production Deltic. Now their Deltic prototype is an amazing, amazing model, but I've just never quite got into the production one. Brockwell Lane, yeah, they definitely got their money's worth out of the Pacers. Still going strong in South Wales, says Tim J.D. Dowd. YouTube Railway Modelers, I like Pacers, I have only been on one. Yeah, Nodding Donkey says CSX Rensville. Yeah, you've not lived until you've been on a Class 142 on the Walkden line and seen the guard bang his head on the roof as we've gone over jointed track. Not great. Melchester Model Railway says, I've never travelled on a pacer. Where's the nearest place to London where they still run? Not quite sure. Probably North Wales, somewhere like that. Yeah, Wales, says YouTube Railway Modelers. Right, we've got 163 people in. They're down from usual. Normally we get about 200, so I'm guessing Easter weekend, and despite the lockdown, I'm guessing a lot of people made use of the weather to have a barbecue in the garden. And despite what certain police officers would have you believe, yes, you are still allowed in your garden. So don't let the man stick it to you. Instead, stick it to the man and make full use of your garden if you've got one on your balcony. Right. Robert Becking, DP1 looks the best with that headlight. Yeah, I do have a Bachmann prototype Deltic, and it is a beautiful, beautiful model. Tony Wright, Pacers are okay for short journeys, which is what they were meant for, and they were a stopgap train. Very much. They were. I don't think that they were particularly intended to last much longer than the 1990s, but yeah, here we still are. Anyway, let's go to. Did I queue up the next one? Yes, I did. So, let's prepare with a little bit of Doctor Who goodness for Morris Modelling. And let's take a look at another one of your layout videos that has been submitted. So, again, we're like back to our roots here with nice simple layout, but certainly an immense amount of play value. And what it actually does show is that there's a lot you can do with a lot of the more basic things in the range. As in fact, I didn't quite see what that small loco is zipping around. Is that one of the Rustons? That is one of the Rustons, and actually that's interesting. You've got quite a nice long train there. And that footbridge that you've got at the end there as well. Ooh, that blue Ginty, that's an interesting one. Tell me more about the blue Ginty. But certainly the footbridge you've got at the end there, I found those footbridges very good for adapting into a great many different bits and pieces. Jonesy Tyne and Weir Transport, do you prefer English locos or Scottish locos? I have no hard and fast preference, it has to be said. I like lots of locos, be they English, Welsh, Scottish. I'm an equal opportunities loco liker. But yeah, that Ruston is really nice. Actually, it's running really well there. I'm quite impressed how well that Ruston is running. Very impressive. Tim JD Down says that's Thomas, the plain blue one. Interesting. I did see the Thomas going around, but there was what looked to be a plain blue painted Ginty on the front of a triple-headed train of Ginties. I was just curious about it. It looked more like that one there. Is that's not the Bachmann Thomas the Tank Engine, is it? It looked like a repaint of a 3F Ginty. Let's have a look. McBenman 1. Hi Jenny, did Silver Lady ever get a blocked water gauge? Not that I'm aware of, I have to be said. And it's one of the ailments that it never actually got. And it got most other things. Flymo Chairman 1 as well says, stick it to the like thumb also. Hit it. Oh yes, definitely. Don't forget to hit that like button, share this video too, and also subscribe to the channel. And some great angles here. Actually, it's outdoors. I hadn't realised your layout's outdoors, but I do love a good outdoors layout. I like those coaches too that just whiz round. had a much more Edwardian look to them. Are they from the Railway Children set? Didn't get a great look at them because they went round so quickly. They look like the Bachmann X LMS coaches, but in a much more ornate livery. Just very difficult to see, they go past so quick. There's some great angles here as well, and I really do like low angles like this. I think they really bring a model railway to life. You've got a bit of a sticky spot there with your Tidmouth milk train. Probably just needing a bit of a clean on the track, which I always recommend the Gauge Master that do, I think it's GM27, the track cleaner rubber is really, really great. But also the Pico one is good too. Right, J94, whose video is this? Morris Modelling. In a moment I will try and check my emails again to see whose it was. But the actual YouTube channel is Morris Modelling, I believe. McBenman1, where can I find these buildings? These are Hornby. They're normal range buildings. It's the terminus station platforms, and it's their more budget end of their range. They are a really good starting point, and particularly the overall station roof is a pretty great piece of kit. The footbridge that you're just seeing in the background there, I can highly recommend it. It might be part of their more budget conscious range, but it's actually a really great starting point, and I find painted up you can get a really nice finish off it. J94, you're absolutely welcome. CSX Rensville, Pico rubber much too rough, CNL one much better. Yeah, I must admit, I have seen minor scratching appear on railheads from the Pico one. The Gauge Master one does seem to be quite soft as well. So I think it's the case the Pico one tends to be a lot easier to get hold of. But if you can get the Gauge Master one, that's my personal recommendation. It's also, if you're going larger scales, so for example O gauge, I find the Gauge Master one is easier to use because it's bigger. I do like those coaches. That livery, I think, I could be wrong, but I think they're from the Bachmann Railway Children set. But certainly, I do like that panelling look. It's got a very Edwardian feel to it. Ben Tullett, McBenman, the buildings are a Hornby, both new and old. The red brick ticket office building is an old 1980s Hornby item. Bartsville, Barry and Nick watching from Buenos Aires. Big welcome to you. Letty's Train says the Hornby track rubber is something like £1 from Hatton's. Very good. Yeah, that's the thing. The Pico track rubber is dead easy to get hold of, and it's quite cheap. It's not as big as something like the Gauge Master track rubber, but certainly I find it does do the job. So I've got two of them just down there, which is what I'm actually using to clean track as and when required. Though actually that Bachmann Class 55, I give it a bad rap, but actually it's doing quite well going round. It's running quite smoothly. We're not getting any slipping, it seems, so it's doing alright. Conversely, the Class 76 seems to be starting to struggle a little bit on the grade. Yeah, I think we might need to clean the track a little bit. Now, word of warning, I am getting a little bit drunk off the beer, but you were all expecting that. So I'm just going to clean this bit of track and see if it makes a difference to the Class 76. And what I found, especially with a little bit of a minor gradient, is it doesn't take much dirt to affect the trains running and make them slip. It's quite surprising how little grease on the railhead and goes towards making trains struggle. So we'll see how that 76 does on the next one round. But yeah, I do like those coaches. I think we've got, Sparky 107, happy Easter everyone, happy Bunny Day, Jenny Kirk. Thank you very much, happy Easter to you too. It's great to have you in, and I don't know what time it is in the US at the moment, but certainly here at the moment we're at about 7:30. But there we are. We've just had a video from, let's just see, that's from Morris Modelling, and a big thank you to you for submitting that video. And let's get back to, there we go, and there's the Bachmann Class 55 heading on round. James Pett says, interesting, I used the Hornby track rubber. How do you find that one? I must admit, I've never used the Hornby one. It looks a lot like the Pico one, but I've got no immediate experience, so I couldn't honestly tell you. Maybe it's one I need. Maybe I should do a head-to-head test of different track rubbers, because there's Gauge Master, there's Hornby, and of course the trusted Pico as well. And I'll have a look around and see if I can find any others. Let's have a look. Flymo Sherman one says, I have a Thomas Face smokebox tour somewhere. They get around. Railway Fan, nice mix of wagons. Thank you very much. Bartsville, we both model British, but everything has to be imported or smuggled. I can imagine a bit like US outlines getting a bit easier to get hold of in the UK. But it used to, certainly in the 1990s, be a bit like that over here. Lettuce Train says, here we go, Drunk Jenny. I know, in fairness to me, we're in the process of losing a beloved family pet. We believe that, and those of you who just joined us, it's been quite a rough week. Fred, our cat of 16 years, has been unwell for on and off for about a month. She got bad about 2-3 weeks ago, and then got better, and now she's deteriorated quite dramatically within the space of a week, and all of the symptoms point to it being quite an aggressive cancer. Now it may not be. We're going to the vet tomorrow. It is quite difficult to get an appointment with the vet, but we're going tomorrow, and we're hoping that, you know, see what the vet can do. But the reality is, at 16 years old, she's an old lady, and she really is struggling, and it's clear that she is probably not going to survive this, which is very heartbreaking. Zoe had Fred the cat when I first moved in with her. I remember actually taking Zoe in my car. We were just friends at the time, we didn't live together. I actually took Zoe to pick up Fred from the cat shelter when she was just a tiny little kid. So she's been a big part of both of our lives, and it is quite sad. But hey, Leslie Gilpin, there's something to review. Track rubbers, LOL. I have done a review of the Gauge Master track rubber a long time ago, I must say. James Pett's bunny days are the best sort of days. Oh yeah, good old bunny girl. Apart from kitten days, of course. Norman Rose says 11:31 AM West Coast time. That's not too bad. You've had your lie in, and then it's just like, yeah, settle into the day. Sparky 107, 2:30 here in Canada, Jen. 2:30 in the morning, so it's a very late night. James Pets, I'd be interested in seeing a track rubber comparison video. Yeah, actually, it's one of those things that you think, a lot of people might go, what a silly video. And then the more you think about it, the more you think, actually, that could be quite useful. So I'll bear that in mind. Railway Fan, Pico track cleaning wagon with fixed rubber is good. Interesting. Yeah, and Richard Swiderski says, track rubber review would be good. FMR Station House, just noticed you talking about track cleaning. How do you clean the O-gauge track in the garden? I use track cleaning rubber, and it is quite hard work with a small Pico rubber. But if you get a Gauge Master GM27 track cleaning rubber, they're markedly bigger, and that actually does make it a lot easier to clean the track in the garden. Now, what I find is that for some reason out in the garden, the track gets like a copper-coloured coating that has to be cleaned off. Now, it does clean off quite easily, but it's got to be done. And it's just like almost like a rusty red, coppery red coating. It's not rust because the rails are nickel silver. Let his trains rest in peace, Fred. In our hearts, bless. Where's that? It's Fred, short for Winifred. But unfortunately, it's one of those things. Unfortunately, as humans, we outlive a lot of other creatures. So it's one of the things that you have to bear in mind when you get a pet, is that you will probably outlive them. James Patch, the poor little fuzz, very best wishes for her. Thank you very much. Norman Rowe, knock one back for Fred, everyone. Yeah, we'll drink to Fred and hopefully tomorrow will be alright. So if I tear up from time to time, I can feel myself tearing up now. It's because Fred is very ill. Right. Let's change camera angles, and there we go, the rake of teak coaches. Tim JD Dowd, good luck tomorrow, thank you very much. Flymo Chairman 1, it's 5 o'clock somewhere. Oh, that was, I can't remember the artist. There is a song, yeah. CSX Rensville, I shall raise a glass to Fred, thank you very much. Tim JD Dowd, Fred will go to the Rainbow Bridge and wait for you. I know. Sorry, I'm tearing up a bit. It is a difficult time. Gamehammer Classic Gaming. Fred is so wonderful and I'm beside myself with worry about it. That's the Cupboard Monkeys channel. Oh, sorry, I've teared up. I can't read properly. You know, sometimes you take a pet for granted. Very much so. Especially if they can be a bit annoying. And then, when they reach the end of their life, you suddenly realise how much you really did like them. Oh, difficult times. Oh dear. McBenman 1, what are track rubbers and do they work on O gauge? They'll work on any gauge. They're just simply a slightly abrasive, literally a rubber compound that removes the dirt from the railheads. Richard Lewis says, have you tried Track Magic? I found it very good inside and out. Never tried that one, I have to say. Gamehammer Classic Gaming. She's so loving and always waits at the door to greet me when I get home. She even knows how to mew to mimic me saying hello there when I come home. Sadly not anymore. She lacks the energy to do that. Lacks the energy even to climb on the sofa. And needs help to get to sit up on the chair. She can't climb the stairs. And unfortunately it's gone fairly quick. She's gone from being herself a week and a half ago to really struggling. Flymo Chairman one says, are they like the ink rubbers of old? A somewhat harder rubber compound and something. I think they have like a slightly gritty compound mixed in as well. Leslie Gilpin says, the most damaging track cleaner I've used very, very briefly is an abrasive pad supplied with Atomic's Atlas Daypol cleaner, relegated to vacuum cleaner duties. Logan Clary says, what do you call a broken super detail model? A railroad model. Flymo Chairman 1, I had a couple of typewriter rubbers, but they're long since been that. YouTube Rower Modelers 2020 is effectively cancelled, very much so. It started off with such promise, it has to be said. I picked up a big sponsor in the form of Trainomatic, and my channel has really grown. I'm really grateful that I've garnered quite a small but loyal following. And we've been able to do so much more great stuff this year, working very closely with a lot of manufacturers. And then the coronavirus thing turned up, and now losing a pet. It's 2020. What a strange year. Right, I'm going to, let's see now, we've got one more video, and this is from Barnabas Junction. So, let's just get this queued up. It's a little bit of a short one, which for some reason it's playing an advert, so let's wait until we can skip
these things happen.
So,
I'll tell you what.
oh right, this is Barnabas Junction DRS running season. Oh, it's a live stream. Barnabas Junction, you've sent us a link to a live stream.
Is that... Oh.
So we're not going to be able to play that because effectively we'll be playing somebody else's complete hour-and-a-half live stream from...
That probably won't be a good idea.
No. Which is from...
Right, go back to...
13th of February, so it's from a few days ago. But
few days. What date do you think it is? I realise that coronavirus has made everyone wonder. I tell you what, 2020. I am going to have such a big party when this horrible year goes.
I think a lot of people are. And what we will probably do is we'll find a way of coming live from the garden layout, and we'll get a few people together. I'd like to invite Wardle Road over. I want to try and get New Junction. He's like the shadow that passes in the night.
We have to try and launch some fireworks from the back of an orchid
no,
wagon.
No, that's got a recipe for a monumental cock-up.
You know it would be great.
You know it wouldn't make sense. But what we're actually going to do is we're going to try and find a trains running video.
And then I'm going to go downstairs and order a pizza.
Yes! Let's have a pizza. Oh, we've got pizzas in the freezer. Just put them in.
No, I want to order a pizza because then I can order a cheesecake with it.
Their cheesecake is atrocious.
I'll enjoy it.
No, their cheesecake, you've got 15 minutes. Run out to the co-op and get a cheesecake.
I can't. I've been out today. I went for an essentials run. I can't go out.
You didn't go to the co-op, did you?
I went for an essentials run. I can't go out. There are rules. There are rules for a proper reason, and we can't.
And I'm too drunk. No,
I can't tell people stay inside and then go out twice.
I know.
I can't do it.
You can't. We can't. We're not having. I'm putting. The foot's coming down. It's coming down. The foot is down.
Shame I've already ordered it then, isn't it?
So if what's wrong with the pizza in the...
I forgot it was there.
So you came up to announce that you just ordered a pizza, basically.
And you were so happy at the idea.
No, and then I thought, actually, I wanted a meat pizza. What happened to the meat pizza?
I haven't ordered yet.
You haven't?
I haven't. I wanted to see your reaction.
You could put the pizzas that are in the freezer in.
I don't want it.
I don't want takeaway. I think we'd be...
I really do.
What does the internet feel? Should we be having takeaway or not?
Yes, yes we should.
No. Richard Swiderski says, CSX Rental says, enough, talk trains.
Yeah, well, we were dealing with
No, this is, we're a little boy back in the...
Yes, and I saw it when it came in.
Richard Swiderski, my wife and I understand how you feel about Fred, Jenny and so. We've had 11 cats over the years and it's never easy to say goodbye.
It really isn't.
Leslie Gilpin, time for another video, Jenny. Yeah, we're just trying to... Aha! Yes,
This is the one that Jenny has been asking me for quite a while. So, we're going to go straight over to a special one where we see, direct from the past, Bolton Trinity Road and the 00 Garden Railway.
So, this is an interesting view angle. This is no more now. That's the barracks building. We're now up here on Weir Yard. And we're behind a Daypole Class 22. Oh, right. And straight
this
into my
old intro.
Well, not the oldest of intros, but gosh, look, don't I look thin? Stop it. Don't I look cute and thin there? Unfortunately, I've piled on weight in the last couple of years. So, yes, I do know I'm fat and I don't need other people to...
I'm still in shape, however, because round is a shape.
So, it was a lovely day. You can see outside of
Everyone
the shed
says
door.
that we should order pizza.
Do they? Are you
Yes.
checking the comments? So, this angle is one. If you can get yourself a camera that lets you do this, then this is a great way of seeing your model railway.
Yes, and
This-
the camera we use is the Panasonic HX-A1M. They are still kind of available in certain places. You might have to look in the specialist video camera shops and camera shops, but they are still available. They're round and they're so small they fit onto a wagon on 00 gauge. It's hard to find a wagon that does that, a camera that does that even. So if you can't find them, you'd have to go for something like a GoPro that doesn't have a monitor in it.
Yeah.
A lot of GoPros have the little LCD screen.
Which
get
makes
the
them
one
too
that,
big.
Yes, get the one that doesn't. I think it's the Hero or something like that. It's
Yeah.
tiny. It's meant to be put on a helmet. That should fit.
Yeah. Bob Patterson, big goodbye to you. Says, well, time to say goodnight, Morin, evening, Jenny and Zoe. Off to the land of Nod from Bob. Look, good night. You take really good care of yourself. Lettuce Trains asked, can you run the Helgen Class 14, please? Unfortunately, I can't. Actually, when we were talking about Helgen before, I guess the Class 14 is one which I've had a lot of trouble with. You alright?
My arms just started aching.
Oh, yeah, sometimes I get that. It's like a trapped nerve.
No, it feels like there's a lump.
Oh.
Oh. What on earth have I done? I don't remember bumping it on the way up the stairs.
Right, I'm just going to... Sparky 107 says, now I'm going to start to cry. I love my cat. She goes up on my chest and we watch TV together.
So
Yeah.
does Fred.
I know. Look, we're going to have to try and stop talking about Fred because it's really upsetting. Anfield Road layout in the loft. The best way I clean track is with glass cleaner or nail varnish remover, which is basically acetone, and cotton wool buds. Definitely, yeah. McBenman1 asks, I sent you a video, can you show mine too? Did you send it to Zoe at zoerobinson.com? Because it wasn't in the list.
So we just had an email that's quite important, so I've got to show it to Jen.
Oh, what's this?
Yeah. Sorry about this, it's just something that's come up.
Right. Fair enough. Anyway, yeah. Sorry, we're looking at the this layout's no more. The bit that it's on at the moment.
That's also gone. And all of this is from back in time.
Yeah. What I would say is that I didn't have a great experience with the wood in the garden. It rotted out. The base that you're seeing the train on just completely rotted out.
Even though you designed it to be lifted up so that that wouldn't happen. And wasn't this supposed to be marine grade ply and you paid quite a bit of money for it?
It was supposed to be. Part of the problem is the heat from sunlight, expansion and contraction, caused tears in the roofing felt. With hindsight, ballasting the track didn't help because it caught it. I think that hastened the tearing of the actual roofing felt. So it is one of those things that you live and learn. I like the idea of using the plastic like barge boarding. I think they were the recycled plastic. I think that's probably the way to go. It was great having this model railway. I did a full series on its building, and a lot of it was about trying to actually the ground it was built over was built up land, and you needed to leave it to settle. Otherwise, the problem you got was that if you'd have built straight onto it, you would have ended up with, like the Himalayas. Your track bed would have been like a roller coaster. But in here, this is Trinity Road, the shed layout, which was built first, and trains can just go, well, could just go round in within the confines of the shed. And yeah, when the weather was nice, we could also run trains around the garden, as you're seeing here. Now, the camera wagon, I don't remember, at the time we were quite an early adopter to the camera wagon, it has to be said. Well, that's interesting. The end card is showing the most up-to-date videos.
Of course it is.
That's kind of cool.
Of course it is. That's how I've set it up. There's a lot of trains on that. You must love trains.
Yeah. Right, anywho, that was a video that I've been wanting to show you guys for quite some time. It's the Cupboard Monkeys.
Remember to click that like button.
But yeah, no, the Class 14, when I was talking about how much I love the Helgen locomotives, I forgot to mention the Class 14. Now, the problem with the Class 14, the initial batch, it looks great, and I like that prototype, but they had a little bit too much play on the crankshaft drive axle. Well, on the real ones, it'd be the crankshaft drive, the jackshaft drive.
You love a good crankshaft.
And it would tend to jam against the steps. Now, I believe that the later versions fixed that problem, but mine is an earlier version, so... what's that?
Bob Patterson has sent us an email saying, please find attached a PDF file where I worked in Melbourne, Victoria back in the early 80s.
Oh, he did say that he'd emailed these.
Yes, so I've passed it over. That is quite striking.
Well, actually, if you ever see, I don't know whether, can we actually get these on screen?
We can show it, and I shall move the browser to this again and bring this up full screen.
So, Victorian Railways, Melbourne Yard, Southern Storage Areas. There's a lot of tracks in there. That is very impressive. And I like the big balloon loop running through the middle as well. There's a lot going on there.
Yeah, you could make a hell of a model railway with that.
You'd need a hell of a lot of space.
Yeah, but you could do it. I mean, N-gauge, you could do it.
Very impressive. So, a big thank you to Bob Patterson. Thank you very much for... sending that over.
Now I've got to work out how to get... There we are.
Yeah, don't show everybody my emails.
Why? What have you been ordering?
No, they'll be going, oh, you've been sending nasty emails to people. That's not on screen, is it?
No. You've only been sending nasty emails to me. So, dear Zoe, you smell. Lots of love, Jenny.
Yeah. But that's the reason I can't run the Class 14, because it's not DCC fitted. Because it needs a bit of work. So yeah, there are a few niggles with Helgen models, but by and large I actually reckon that they're pretty good. And as I said before, Helgen don't send me any review samples. They're one of the manufacturers that they don't, as far as I'm aware, they don't send any YouTubers review samples. And indeed, I've spoken to people from some of the magazines as well, and they say that it's like getting information out of Helgen can be a bit tricky, but I believe in credit where credit's due, and you know, they do produce some great models. So currently going round, we've got the Class 76, an amazing model. We've got the Class 27, an amazing model, and in my collection, other ones, the Sarah Siddons type Bobo. We've also got that one as well. I've got two of them. And they are great models, although you have to be careful that the pickup shoes can be a little bit fragile. So just treat them with care. But they, you know, as long as you're gentle with them, they're fine. The Class 26, that is a great model. And the Class...
You're only moving it because I've got the thing in
the Class 52 I've actually found all right. And the jury is out on the Class 52 as to whether the Daypol or the Helgen model is the better one in terms of closeness to the original. But certainly the Class 17 looks the part. There's a few little niggles with the Class 17. Getting the body off, it's a bit of a stupid design, but the fundamental design of it is sound. And in terms of things like steam locomotives, now I only have the 1366 class, but I actually found that really great, and it has a few great innovations, including how to DCC fit it. I thought that was particularly good. And I know that the 1361 class, which is the Saddletown version, is fundamentally based on the same chassis. Norman Rowe, party at Jenny and Zoe's. I think that ties in with James Pett saying, I'd be interested to see a garden railway live stream. Maybe it will come later in the year when lockdown ends. Maybe we'll do a live stream from the garden. Let's have a look. Oops, for some reason I've just lost the chat. There we are. Melchester Model Railway. Where cheesecake is concerned, there are no rules. Yeah, the first law of cheesecake is there is no law of cheesecake. Norman Rose says, put the hammer down, Zoe. YouTube Railway Modeler says, Denmark is lifting its lockdown. I know. Dundee Road says, order one, they will taste better. Norman Rose says, how can someone screw up a cheesecake? The local takeaway can, believe me, we've tried it before. Lettuce train. Sorry, I think I've already answered lettuce trains on that one. James Petts, I approve of Garfield quotes. I'll be on the cheesecake. But yeah, lettuce trains. I can't run the Class 14 A because it's not DCC fitted, and B because it needs some spacers putting on the jackshaft drive to stop it from seizing up. Deltic Junction James, ham and pineapple. Now that is controversial. Now I like ham and pineapple pizza, but I believe a lot of people don't and believe that it is the spawn of the devil. Will Braddock, can you run the Helgen Class 27? Yeah, it's there. It's running. It has been running. Skipsy Trains, Mrs. Skipsy Trains has broken out the Tia Maria and Coke. Oh, I haven't had that since Christmas. That is great stuff. McBenman says I sent it. It's not. You may have to send that again. I can't find it in my emails. We've had a quick look through it. I can't find it. So if you could send that again, that would be great. Ron Stanbridge, I've just got a run cam. It's 2" by 2" today, so we'll be testing it out Wi-Fi, so you can look at it on your phone. Well, if the Panasonic one that we use, it's not actually up here at the moment. That does have the means to connect via Wi-Fi to your phone, so you can actually see what it's showing. Russell Benton says, oh Jenny, feel for you in amongst all that. You're on YouTube for us. Take care. Thank you very much. Manthony 1956, hello Zoe and Jenny. Better late than never. Dreary day in KY, Kentucky. You both sound well. Thank you very much. Unfortunately, if you'd joined us earlier in the stream, we were talking about sadly, our beloved cat Fred of 16 years is in the process of suffering with what we believe to be rather aggressive cancer. It's never nice when a beloved family pet is reaching the end of their life. Canadian Rail fan, hi Jenny from my break room, waiting in Loco cab for freight train 1. Reach me in 3 hours, but I have Wi-Fi, means all good. Grand, welcome aboard. Philip Page, hello from Wingates. Ah, local boy. Ronald Moritz says he advises an electrolube. It's to do with electroconductivity. Might be a response to somebody else's question that I've missed. Again, if I miss your comment, I'm not trying to miss people's comments. It's simply a case that... yeah, sometimes they scroll through really quickly and I get distracted by talking about one point at extreme length. Anthony 1956, what is today's spirit of choice? Mine is Canadian Mist. I'm not familiar with Canadian Mist, but I am drinking Birra Moretti. We believe it may be Italian, but we're not entirely sure. It doesn't exactly tell you on the bottle. But it's quite nice. Very malty. Malty. Tony Wright says, I'm going to grab a bottle of Old Speckled Hen. Cheers. Cheers to you. Malty. Chris Hale's Heritage Railway. Have to go now. Night all and take care. Good night to you and take care. Stay safe during this lockdown. It is unprecedented times that we find ourselves in, it has to be said. it's really difficult. I think nobody's pretending that it's easy, and I think the novelty wore off for pretty much everybody within the first few days or so. Sorry, hope I didn't flash my knickers at you. But yeah, and boredom is the big killer. It's one of the reasons that we've been doing these live streams. We put out on the website as well a complete guide to big up all of the people that submitted their details on live streams via email to zoe@zoerobinson.com and getting them out there, because I think it's very important for people to have kind of human contact as good as we can get it during these lockdown times. So do check out the list of live streams over on my website, which is jennifer-kirk.com, and you'll find a tab on there for the live streams. And big up to all the channels that are on there. And if you know of any other regular YouTube live streams which aren't listed, do let us know with the URL to the channel and also the time that they regularly live stream, time and day, and we will add them to the list. So big advocate of bigging up all the other channels on YouTube. It's a great community, and I think especially in times like this, it is a great lifeline to a lot of people who might be feeling lonely at home and who are missing that all-important vitamin train and being able to get out to shows, see layouts, and that's kind of what we've been trying to do with this virtual model railway exhibition. McBenman one says I sent it and it says it's no content, but it does. I'm really sorry, we're going to have to look into that. I think we'll have to come to that after the stream, and we'll try and figure out a way to get your video. But for people who want to submit for next week as well, zoe@zoerobinson.com. Really looking forward to seeing all of your videos. Really great to have your amazing content, seeing your layouts either completed or if works in progress. It's great to see them also do submit that. Felix Colas Larissa, sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name. Hey Jennifer, why don't you review German models like Märklin or Fleischmann? It's one of those things, isn't it? It can become a very expensive hobby. There's so many models that I would love to buy and to be able to review just in double O, that it does stretch my personal funds very thinly, and I am very lucky that I have a great job, a good paying job, but it is an expensive hobby. Let's not make any pretense about that. And I guess there's some American outline stuff that I would really love to get. If manufacturers sent review samples, then yes, I would review them and would look forward to being able to review them, but it's just simply a case of resources only spread so far. Ron Stanbridge says, night all, good night to you, Ron. It's been great to have your company through this live stream. Always great to have you aboard, and you take care. And I can see by the time 8:05, it is getting late, and it is a Sunday night, so a big up to all of the key workers out there as well who are still going out to work. Not everybody is furloughed, and indeed I myself, I work Wednesday to Saturday, and I am one of the people who keeps your supermarkets restocked. I am part of the logistics behind primarily Asda, but also do a little bit of dabbling for Aldi. What else do we do? Aldi, Co-op, and Sainsbury's as well. Norman Rose says, Jenny and Zoe, go over to Tim's at FMR for a barbecue and running session with a lockdown lift. Indeed, if Tim at FMR Family Model Railway, do check out the YouTube channel. Some great live stream content going up there. I believe he shifted to 1500 in the afternoon, 3 o'clock in the afternoon UK time, to be more accessible to the Americans in the audience. Then yeah, if he invites me, then certainly I'd love to sort something out there. Lettuce Train's got to go now. Jenny, bye. It's been great having you on the stream too, and also don't forget as well, you stay safe, and we'll all live to see another day, and we'll get through this. Don't worry, it's not forever. McBenman 1 says, I sent it again and the subject is McBenman 1. Okay, we'll look out for that. I can't access at the moment whilst we're doing the live stream, but certainly we will make sure that that's on the list for next week's virtual model railway exhibition. Russell Benton, trouble with takeaways, it can take hours to turn up at the moment. There is that. There's a lot of people, I guess. It's the one little treat that you can still get hold of. Although, I must admit that I really fancy a Chinese. I've become quite angry, actually. There's a lot of people being very racist towards people who may have actually been born and grown up in the UK. Certainly, you know, a lot of Chinese, Oriental featured people are being subjected to some of the most horrific racism, and it's not acceptable in this day and age. It is not their fault. They've got nothing to do with this. It's not anybody's fault. You know, this is just one of the things, unfortunately, illnesses, plagues, pandemics, they happen throughout the ages. They're not anybody's fault. And it does anger me that a lot of people who look Oriental are getting a lot of grief. And I really want to show support in even the most simple of ways by ordering a Chinese. And yeah, that may sound very facetious in a way, but unfortunately all the Chinese takeaways around here have closed because they've been subjected to intolerable racism from the same stupid people who seem to think that 5G is somehow sending out death rays when it's not. Ben Tullett, having a reduction in alcohol tonight, our recycling box is looking a bit full of beer bottles. Yeah, our recycling is a bit like that. So see you later, Leslie. It's been great having you on the stream. SJ Carter, time to make mojito. I've overheated in the spare room relaying baseboards. Yeah, the weather is definitely getting a little bit warmer, it has to be said. So I'm going to change the camera angle, so give you some more. In fact, let's see if, now this is a bit risky. The wind is getting up outside. I just heard a big gust of wind. I think the weather is on the turn. So 7. That's a nice shot, and then without me in the corner you get a little bit of a better view there. So it also means I now get a chance to pick my nose and scratch my bottom. No, just joking with you. Manthony 1956, never understand the controversy of pineapple on pizza. My mother's family is from Hawaii. Spam and pineapple is tradition. Sorry about your cat being there. Thanks for that. Yeah, I quite like Hawaiian pizza. Norman Rose. Spam, 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 beans, egg and spam. James Pett, railway modelling is a splendid way to pass the time in lockdown. I couldn't agree more. Derek Grant says, what's the best decoder to hardwire a Class 47, a Hornby 47? Well, I'm sponsored by Trainomatic. I just put out there that I am sponsored, but I wouldn't accept sponsorship from any product that I didn't believe was a great product. So I do recommend either the cabled 6-pin, because they're €18, which is about £16, so actually pretty reasonable price. They're a good decoder, and the 6-pin wired ones are always in stock because they're in less demand than the 8-pin ones. But it's actually the same chip as the 8-pin, just it has 2 less wires hardwired to it. But also you can hardwire the Hornby decoder. Bachmann's decoder will work, but you may need to fiddle with the CV settings, just as a warning to you. Essentially, any of the wired decoders, and when I say wired, they're usually the 8-pin decoders, and you have like a tail of wires to an 8-pin decoder plug back to the DCC decoder. Trainomatic are unusual in that they also offer a 6-pin wired decoder. Normally 6-pin decoders are direct plug, but Trainomatic do offer a wired one, which can be quite handy actually. I found in the ZUF 060 locomotives, the kind that Enwin's 3D models recommend as a basis for some of their 3D printed models, that is actually the decoder that you need for them. You can't, there's not enough space for a direct plug decoder, so I thoroughly recommend the wired 6-pin Trainomatic for that, but definitely. James Pett says, list of live streams. I'm not sure whether you have it already, but the Oak Hill Model Railway live streams every Sunday at 2100. I'm not sure actually, but if you want to pass those details on, please pass details of these live streams. You can place the URL of the YouTube channel and the times and email that to Zoe at zoerobinson.com, and that's Zoe spelt the European way, Z-O-E. Then we will add that to the list. We want to make that as comprehensive as possible. Yes. Yeah, Gamehammer Classic Gamer says, BenMan1, I got your email which included the videos and attachment. That appears to be the problem. Please, everyone, do not send videos as attachments, because it breaks the email system and quite often will end up just being marked as spam. Yeah, please only send URLs. Unfortunately, with BenMan1, it will have tripped out the email system. Put simply, the video will not have come through properly. FMR Station House, can I put a plug out on your new video and it's the start of our O-Gauge and the gun? Yes, certainly. And everybody who hasn't taken a look at that, the FMR video, the Family Model Railway, I believe that stands for, do check them out. Some great content on there. Now, let's see if we can get another camera up. Boom! We've got the mountain cam. I do like that one, even though I do know it flickers a little bit. Norman Rowe, Jenny and Zoe, thanks for another great stream. Take care. Bye, all my Simon friends. Bye to you. You take care. Morris Modelling, evening to you. We did play your video earlier on. So if you weren't in before, we did play that. Thank you very much for sending that in. Dragon Junction just took the coal out of mine. Too heavy for my locos to pull. Sorry, responsive YouTube railway modelers on my layout, Brecknock Valley Model Railway. I recently filled my trucks with real coal. Yeah, absolutely right. Dragon Junction, definitely. I've had the same experience. Sometimes if you fill a wagon with a real full load, it can make the train desperately heavy. James Pett, there was a big thunderstorm in London this afternoon. Surely that would clear the air, actually. Sometimes that could be quite nice. Somerset Andy, watch on YouTube the video with Neville and Suggery Staples with the clapping for the NHS. I did hear that, actually. I was in Hull and I heard the clapping. I was in Hull with work, working as I do in logistics, food logistics. So I'm classed as a key worker. I did hear that. So yeah, we joined in. And I believe they've also done the clap for carers. So a big up to all the people working under some very adverse conditions in the nation's care homes, and often that they're overlooked and struggling to get the PPE because a lot of it's going to the hospitals, and very difficult job. And they're looking after our old folks, the mothers, the fathers, the grandparents, the great grandparents, and they mustn't be overlooked. But also, I think there was also a clap for truckers as well and key workers, and I've certainly seen on my travels with work banners being hung from motorway bridges saying we appreciate the truckers. So I think the country is beginning to understand, who really are the important people that make the world tick. J. Paul Anderson, no Jenny, it is somebody's fault, and the Chinese Communist Party, they arrest whistleblowers, downplay that. Yeah, fair enough. But it's not the fault of the people who run the Chinese takeaways here. The Growler Blackwood N-gauge layout. Night all, time for evening walk with my good lady. Sent a link to Zoe Reese, some running shots of Blackwood N-gauge layout. See you all tomorrow. Well, thank you very much. We look forward to seeing them, and we will include them in next Sunday's virtual model railway exhibition. Eduardo Scarzella, hello all. Thanks, Jenny. Thank you very much. Combat Bunny's posted up the FMR link. Thank you very much for that. Morris Modelling, damn, I missed it. Ah, well, don't worry. Just remember as well, you can catch that on the rerun if you wait until the thing's finished. And New Junction, thank you very much for dropping in. Always great to see you swinging by. And don't forget as well, check out New Junction's channel too. So great to have you. And I think I'm probably quite... Actually, I'm up to date now. So a big hello to you, New Junction. And when this lockdown is over, maybe you would consider coming to the end of lockdown celebration live stream. Maybe we'll do that on the garden layout. I'll try and get Ollie from Wardle Road. Maybe we'll get Dave Jones from Cottesmore in as well. It'll be great to get a few of the people who have visited Weir Yard over the last year or so, and also people like you, Richard, you, New Junction. We'll get you in as well eventually. Rockwell Lane, New Junction, have you fixed that N-gauge layout yet? I must confess, I haven't been watching your new videos. I do feel quite inadequate for that, but I know you've been putting out some great content in these challenging times. But because you've got some of the Hornby magazine layouts being spruced in your garage, I believe. Is that? Am I remembering that correctly? That's me swigging beer, by the way. So, can we get... Apparently, there is one camera which is studiously deciding it's not going to play. I don't know why. Manthony 1956, I noticed your hopper train has brake vans behind the locomotive and at the end of the train. Was this standard practice on British Railways? Occasionally, yes. Now, all of those hopper wagons, they're under tops. They would be classed as HTO. And if you watch my video on how to decipher tops wagon codes, the O is basically unbraked. So it would have had to have run with a brake van on the end. Now, if the train had to be reversed at some point, or reverse direction, so that the locomotive has to run around, occasionally they would put an extra brake van in there so that the brake van didn't have to be run around the train. So there were operational reasons as to why there might be a brake van at both ends. But it's just because I like running brake vans. New Junction, yes, spot on, Jenny. Is that spot on to you coming for the celebrating the end of lockdown live stream? Maybe we'll have a garden party. You'd be very much welcome. It'd be maybe finally we can spray you with the nerd musk and bring you on. It makes me sound like I'm some kind of creepy stalker. I'm not, New Junction. I really am not. I'm happily married, and I'm not a creepy stalker. Or that's what I want you to believe. Yeah, tit-eye going through your bins of a night. Richard Swidowski says, hi Jen, have you a crossfield tanker on your tanker train? I don't actually, and I know Waltons of Altrincham did do a special commission three set of the Crossfield Chemicals tankers, and in the main Backman range they've certainly done one, possibly two, or even more. It's a gaping omission from my collection. So there are a few special commissions in there. Quite a few from been supporting Hereford Model Centre with their weathered mobile oil triple pack. What else is in there? The Mex fuel oil is I think that's a Friesen Hall Model special commission. The Papermakers Chemicals was an Erith Model Rail Society special commission. The Mastico Limited one, that was a Worley Model Railway Club special commission. And then the rest are main range, I think, looking at them. Yeah, main range. But there's two Tank Trader Classic sets. The black weathered SO and the silver weathered SO. And then, actually, No, you're absolutely right. Joseph Crossfield and Sons. I'm getting confused with a different wagon. So yeah, the blue one is a Crossfield Chemicals. So I row that right back. Right. Manthony 19... Oh, sorry, I've already read that. Brockwell Lane. I am a sneaky stalker, but I stay 2 meters away. Yes, in this day and age, stalkers really do have their work cut out. Yeah, remember to smash that like button, says Combat Bunny. James Pett, smash it. I wouldn't want to break it. I'll just press it gently. I always say tickle that like button. Loch Vath train video. Hello to you. Great to have you aboard. Ben Tullett signing out now. Good night, everyone. Stay safe. It is starting to get a bit late, but certainly... oh, actually, Morris Modelling. Sorry, I'm getting dust. I've got a fan down here that is trying to keep me cool, but it's also blasting a little bit of packing dust at me, which is why I'm coughing a bit. CyberJeff1, when are you having Les back on? At the moment, Les is in lockdown isolation at home. Contrary to common belief, he doesn't live in the kinky modelling dungeon or underneath. Yes, Les, I'm telling them, get down, get down. No, I'm just joking. He does... he's locked down at home. He's one of the at-risk category. I know he doesn't mind me telling this. He's recovering from leukemia, which obviously puts him at a greater risk than a great many other people. So he's been locked down at home from very much the beginning of things. So we did get him on through Video Link a few weeks ago now, which was great to have him on. And I must admit, I'm missing Les as well. Les is a great friend, very creative, and do check out on his Facebook page some of the great modelling projects that he's been doing, because Les is a genius, and it's just an absolute inspirational joy to watch him work. Morris Modelling, the Ruston can pull about 15 wagons on the flat and only really runs well at speed over Old Hornby Point, and the Thomas is a Spark Shop Custom Creations body. Right, I'm with you. That's answer to a question that I asked right back at the beginning of the stream. So thank you very much for coming back to me with an answer to that. But we've now found that weird. Oops, no. Oh no, we've gone all weirdy. What's going on? We're starting to lose cameras now. So can we force? Yes. So we have forced reset that camera. And there we are. So that camera, for some reason, we do seem to be able to reset it. That's a bit odd. Has that swapped sides? I'm not sure if it's swapped sides. That's very strange. I thought I was on the other side, but never mind. Right, anywho. Laura Biddulph says, Jen, you should have Sam on from Sam's Trades. To be honest, I'd absolutely love to. I think I did send... I've sent an invite in the past, but I'm guessing that Sam is a very busy man and may or may not got my email. He's probably got a huge spam folder, because my guess is when you've got 70,000 subs, a lot of people email you, so he may not have seen the invite. But yeah, I'd love to have him on. Never actually, well, I tell a lie, I have met him in person in passing. We never spoke to each other. We were both at the D-Class launch with Rails of Sheffield at the National Railway Museum. I only recognised him after the event. The Cupboard Monkey says, well, he didn't say hello, but in fairness, we didn't say hello either. I didn't realise who he was till afterwards. But yeah, I'd love to have him on. Derek Grant, what is Les's Facebook page? Can you post the link? Les's page, Friends of Not Lobia, and that's spelled Notlobia. So if you go and check that out, and do like his page and subscribe to that page. I don't know how it works on Facebook. Liam's train and railway videos. Hello Jenny, hope you're well. Happy Easter, hope you're staying safe. Definitely, and it's a big must to everybody. Do stay in the isolation, because this is the only way that we're going to beat this. Do observe social distancing. You don't want to be a personal space invader, because nobody likes a personal space invader, especially at times like this. You know, we'll make the best of it, and it's one of the reasons that we've been trailing the live stream guide to make sure that people know what is on. And you know, there's some great content out there, and I know that it's really difficult, really difficult. Boredom is very much our enemy, and I do sympathise. You know, I've been trying to do a lot of projects with various things, just to try and give people ideas on things to do. So if I lean down here, we've got this was the weathering thing that I did for a Cura scale, and they asked me if I'd do a guide, a weathering guide on one of their really great wagons. I really do love Cura scale wagons. I've not seen a bad one at all yet. I think we've reviewed every single wagon that they've released, including their O gauge release. In fact, I'm going to put this over here. So there's the weathered O gauge hopper. That looks a bit silly on there, but it gives you an idea of just how great the wagon looks with a bit of weathering on. We did do a full review of that wagon. I'm really impressed by it. O gauge, I know, is a bit more of a niche thing, but certainly also the other thing as well. Let's try and find a really good example. I'm gonna have to stop it. If I try and uncouple a single wagon, it's going to have a hissy fit, and let's have a look, and probably derail everything. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you some of the wagons I did for, I filmed a video for Hornby, and I'm not entirely sure where it's going. It'll either go on their YouTube channel or on their website itself, but I did like an easy to do how to weathering guide, you know, how to improve Hornby wagons. So let's just move that off there. I'm just trying to work out, let's move the Land Rover as well, because it's not actually stuck down. So I don't know how well that comes out. There we go. Hopefully the camera will focus so you can see that wagon a little bit better. But that's one of the wagons that I did for a video for Hornby. I haven't heard back from Mike Day actually as to whether when it's going out, but I will let you know as soon as I know when that's going out. Let's have a look. Morris Modelling just got to the building discussion. It's mix of Hornby, Your Model Railway Village, Toby, and some random card kit I found somewhere. The bridges from the now defunct Thomas the Tank Engine race. Right, I'm with you. Don Harsh says, Happy Easter, Jennifer, and be safe. I'm enjoying this video. Thank you very much. Mrs. Skipsy. Hi, Jen. I'm Skipsy's better half who makes some of his model making. Excellent. Great to hear from you. I hope you're enjoying the stream. I hope you're all staying safe. And a big thank you to Skipsy Trains as well for sending over that video link that we showed back at the beginning of the Virtual Model Railway exhibition. So a big thank you for that. Charleston Eastgate, hi to you. James Moody says the juxtaposition between that wagon and the Land Rover is a little surreal. Yes, just a little bit, but it's just really, it's a good way of being able to show you some of the other stuff I've been working on. Charleston Eastgate says, bit late to the meet, what layouts have I missed? Well, we've had about 5 or 6 on the Virtual Model Railway exhibition. Let me just I'm going to retrieve this wagon before it gets accidentally kicked downstairs. I'm not sure. Durascale wagons are very well made, but I'm not sure that anything would particularly fare well dropping an entire story down onto down some stairs. I think it would probably break, such as everything would break that you fell. Even I would break if I fell down there. Robert Cesare says, "How is Les going to open his door?" It's alright, I'll take the padlock off. SJ Carter had lots to do on my layout. I made the mistake of using MDF for the base. Never again. Now, Richard Brighton from DCC Concepts, when I was speaking to him, I was very much aware that I put my foot in it, saying, "Oh yes, MDF, what a rubbish substance." I was like, not always. MDF, if used correctly, can be made into reasonable baseboards, but you have to brace it, different angles, because, ooh, the pizza has arrived.
There's your pizza that you wanted.
Thank you very much. Are you having yours? You don't seem so good.
Jen, I've had like 4 hours sleep because I was tending to the cat, and I've been non-stop all day. I'm worn out.
I'm sorry. Well, what I'm going to do is I'll round up the stream now. And
no, you keep going if you want. It's
well,
fine.
I can't talk and stuff in my face. That's good. It's not takeaway as well, so.
Even though I wanted one, you told me not to. You're horrible to me, you know. She is. She's horrible to me. She makes me edit her videos and she won't get me takeaways.
You'll thank me in 3 days' time.
I won't.
You will, because effectively, that let's have a takeaway can be redeployed later in the week.
What, while you're at work?
Oh.
Just throw your pizza. I spent less than a minute putting that in the oven for you.
Oh. Just,
Yeah, take the screws off it that you lost on the phone. Right guys, it's 8:30, we've been going for 2.5 hours. I can't stay.
How's Fred doing?
She seems awake and alert. That's all I can say.
Has she moved off the chair?
Only a couple of times, and then she got back on it. Where's the comments? Here they are. Right, guys. What are we looking at here? I can't even read the comments from here. Where's your phone?
Yeah.
What comments we got?
You can unplug it from the power.
Yeah. People are saying that you should have Sam on from Sam's Trains. To be honest with you, I don't think he would. I really don't think he would come on.
Well, the invite's there.
Yeah, the invite's been there for ages. I get the impression that he's not the kind of person who wants to come on live and chat and be interviewed. I get the impression that he's quite a... how do you say this?
Private.
Private. That's the word I was trying to struggle for. Yes.
I think he is a very private individual.
Yeah. So if I'm wrong, the invite's there. He can come on. We have no problem with that. But I get the impression that he's not the kind of person who would want to. But I'm happy to be proved wrong.
Not for a bad reason. Just very private.
Yeah. There's nothing wrong with being a private person. Nothing wrong at all. Lots of people asking where Les's Facebook page is.
Friends who like not Lobia.
Yes.
Are you near the bottom of the comments?
Yeah. Manthony 1956 says, I like the way you weathered the couplings on the hopper. It seems to disguise the fact that they are not prototypical, but few couplings are.
The slimline tension lock couplings, I guess it's like they're utilitarian. They get the job done. They might not be the best at getting the job done, but they're good enough in ticking a lot of boxes in the good enough category. But you seem to be flagging there.
I'm absolutely worn out, Jenna. I really am. I'm sorry. I'm trying my best to keep going, but I'm so worn out.
In that case, what we shall do, I shall get rid of the pizza smile,
But you look like the Joker.
No, not in a good way. And you probably need to take that cable away, otherwise you can take that one as well. I think it's probably fully charged.
Have you seen this, guys? I brought her a pizza. She's eaten part of it, thrown it away, and then thrown cables at me.
Richard Swidisky says, poor Zoe. Jen just thrown the pizza down. Take care, Zoe. Look after yourself and all the best. Say hello to Fred for me. Christopher Kingsland says, thanks for your broadcast, Jenny. Happy Easter and regards, all rail fans. And, oh, sorry. Tony Wright says, I feel for you, Zoe. Well,
I've got to go.
we're gonna get through this. So we're gonna round this off. Look,
I'm sorry.
thank you very much for everybody coming on the stream. It's been great to have your company. So we're gonna round off and we're gonna come to an end. It is quite warm up here, and I think I need to go and be with Zoe. She's really struggling at this difficult time, which, for those of you who joined the stream late on, our cat, or our beloved cat of 16 years, is very, very ill at the moment, and we're just, it's been very emotional. So we're going to say, oh yes, the Jenny Monday Club will be on the usual time, 7 o'clock tomorrow. So I hope you can all join me then, and don't forget to like this video if you haven't already done so, share it too. Also subscribe to the channel if you haven't done that before. Let everybody know that we're going to be live with the Monday Club tomorrow, and in the meantime, take really good care of yourself. I can't stress this enough. Follow the social distancing rules, and there's lots of great content on YouTube. Check it all out, and I think the community's done a great thing pulling together at this really difficult time to give you lots of ideas of things to do during lockdown. But until next time, this is me, Jenny Kirk, saying good night all. You take really good care of yourself. Bye for now.